Okay, this is one of my mini Nitro RS4s. HPI Nitro RS4 EVO Plus. I also have a EVO single speed, a drift, and a RS4 2, and a Super Nitro RS4. The drift, Super Nitro, and RS4 2 all have some work that needs to be done to them, and some parts needs to be bought. But this is with O'Donnell 30%. Still loving my new Dynamite Glow charger. Everything starts up a lot faster. Damn it. This one actually prefers a little bit of throttle when I start it, but once it starts, it stays running. This engine is bigger than a Traxxas 2.5, but the Traxxas 2.5 is a flow-through design. This has a side exhaust, so the airflow through the motor isn't as linear. I mean, not linear, but it doesn't go in the front, come out the bag. It goes in the front and then has to come out the side. So, but it still makes some insane power. This has a 2-speed transmission. Right now, I don't know what the speed I'm getting, but I'm using O'Donnell Race Blend 30%. Let the motor warm up a little bit. It is a quick little sucker. This is an actual touring car. The tires that I have on it are more for... bashing. Just having fun with it. They're not super sticky. That's why I can... if I really want to, I could just... I mean, it hooks up really well. But the rear tires will come loose. And you can actually see the right rear tire behind the exhaust is a little dirty. But these little on-road nitro cars are very fun. They're a lot, in my opinion, a lot funner than electric. Because I love that sound. Because that sound, you can't beat it. And then when I get on it, a line of smoke. A lot less than the line of smoke in with the Traxxas Nitro. And I've already tuned it with this. The temperature is not getting above about 230, 236. The highest temp I saw was 236, and these motors don't like to go over about 250. So, not only am I using a higher percentage fuel, but it's staying cooler than the Traxxas fuel. Traxxas fuel ran at about 257. But I put a tune on it. Right now it's about, we have some storms coming in, so it's pretty hot. Probably in about 2 hours. I don't have my phone on me, but within about 2 hours we'll have some pretty bad storms coming in. It's probably close to 80 degrees. And LRP, Tower Hobbies, has gotten a new motor. It's the LRP Competition ZZ.31. Ceramic bearings. $450. Personally, myself, I would go through... I would go through like RB Mods or the Nitro Shop and get one of those motors, preferably a 0.32. But who knows what LRP has done to that motor. I won't know until I get a look at one. but I know the LRP ZR.32 is pretty much the best monster truck motor out there. If you're just wanting a good basher with a lot of power, it puts out about 4.5 horsepower at 30,000 RPM. These little 3cc nitro motors, I don't know how much they put out. I know that an average car, even with nitro, electric, you know you're going to beat an average car, like that white Challenger down there with the Hemi. This car would actually beat that Challenger down there at about the first maybe 200 feet, but then the high gears that the Challenger has is going to really outrun it. But to scale, these things, 80 miles an hour, 10th scale, that's pretty damn fast to have something that small. When I did a video, I have another video that I need to upload. It's running my little low-C minis, the 124ths. And I have a 3-cell Turnigy Nanotech 180 milliamp hour battery. It's a tiny little battery, but I'll be uploading that video along with this one. But that little car does about 30 miles per hour, and it's 1/24th scale. So once you do the math, that thing is doing, to scale, over 300 miles per hour. The reason why these can go so fast is you have, and yeah, that dark line right there, that's not from me. I don't know what that's from. But these little things are doing, to scale, over 400 miles an hour. So they really run really quick, and they're really fun. The only thing bad with shaft-driven cars is they have what's called torque steer. It's not torque steer on the drivetrain itself, it's the torque of the motor itself spinning actually makes the whole car pull to one side. That's why most drifters, you will actually see they use a belt setup. The motor is actually sitting longitudinal to the chassis. That's so you don't get torque steer. I have a drift car that is shaft driven, has a little bit of torque steer but not a lot. But then I have some belt driven cars, they have no torque steer. But with my EVO, I don't run it hardly ever. I'll probably do a video for YouTube just so people can see the original EVO with a single speed setup. It's more of a drift setup because the original EVO came with a 2-speed, as far as I know. But then I have the original RS4 2 with the original motor. And here comes the car to ruin my fun. That's the one downside to on-road cars. If you don't have a track close, you're gonna have to battle with traffic. And if you live on a US highway like I do, I live right off US Highway 341. There's a lot of traffic that comes into my neighborhood. So, but as of right now, this car cannot be bought. When I went looking around, I first went looking for a Traxxas Fortec. No, it started off looking for a Traxxas funny car. Couldn't find it. Looked for the Traxxas Fortec, and then I looked at HPI. I saw this and I said I had to have it. So I started searching around. There's only 3 in the entire United States online. I searched for days. One at Maniac's Hobby down in Florida, and 2 at Debbie's RC World. Debbie's is down to 0, I think. I think all of them have sold out. There's also a, I believe it's a 1/18th scale of this. It's the Mini RS4. It's electric, it's brushed. It uses a 180 size motor. and I really want to get that. I saw somebody that had one, but he ended up getting it while he was in Indonesia. But it's the exact wheel, it's the exact same color setup, but it's not nitro, it's electric. And I'm actually running it a little bit rich, not too much. I mean, you can see I don't have that snappy throttle that I do on others. I mean, I do if I keep getting on the throttle, but if I let it sit for a second, it'll actually load up a little. But the acceleration out of these things is just insane, and the noise that comes along with it, you can't even hear it shift. It shifts so fast, and that's one thing I don't like about it, is the gearing is so close that you can't hear the shift. It has a 2-speed transmission, but you can't hear the shift. And that I don't like myself, but you can always get a different pinion and spur. You just have to remember, if you get a pinion, say you have a 44 tooth for the 41 tooth for first gear, no, for second gear, and a 44 for first gear. You're gonna have, when you get a pinion, you're gonna have to remember to stay that same 3 tooth gap, or it won't mesh up. Only one of them will mesh up, and if it's only second gear, it's gonna have to rev like hell, and then all of a sudden second gear is gonna kick into place, and you're gonna break your second gear pawl that flies out at a certain RPM. If you've ever rebuilt a transmission for an RC car, you actually know what the little pawl is. It's on a little circular thing. Some use a pawl, some actually use the disc that expands. But with this fuel, this O'Donnell, at this RPM with the Traxxas, it would load up so fast because of the oil content on it. I've been told by some people that they did an evaporation test with it and it was only 10% oil, but I've actually spoken to Traxxas and they confirmed that their fuel is 16% oil. Because I'm not going to run a fuel in my vehicle if I don't know what the oil content is. I'm not just going to take the manufacturer's word for it. Yeah, right here all I can really do is drag race. Just go back and forth. I really can't do a lot of turns. See, right there the ass end came around. I got a feeling I've just got the ass end set up too tight. The suspension. This also only has a 100 milliliter tank, a 100cc tank, so I've let it idle a lot, and that's the reason that it's lasted so long. But we can actually stop and look at how much fuel is left. Not much. Maybe 20 cc's of fuel left. Yeah, that ass end likes to hop around a little too much. I need to do some suspension tuning. I'm betting it's too stiff. Whoa! Ah, damn. I hit the frickin'... I hate this is why I don't like running this vehicle. I hit the manhole cover. So it bottomed out and it ended up flipping, and now I have a car coming. And that's definitely going to do some damage to the wheels and the body. The question is how much, and usually when you have a crash, you're gonna want to flip it back over, and before you go anywhere, check everything. Like right here, I did a little bit of damage on the front sticker. That's not that big of a deal. I can get a new decal sheet for it. But with me, I will completely take the body off, and I will completely look everything over. Check the diffs. Yeah, that part's already come off. I'm gonna have to redo. That's just a light bucket. That's already come off twice now. I got some double-sided. But you're gonna want to look over, look around where it wrecked, because a lot of times people just put their car back up and then go. Well, if something broke or something fell off, there's a very good likelihood that you're never going to find it again. So you always want to stop and look after you've wrecked. And I hate that I wrecked this body, but I can always buy a new one. HPI is supposed to start redistributing by summer, fully by summer, is what I've been told. Some people get some emails from HPI. But just always stop, inspect your vehicle. Don't just flip it back over and keep going. Because if something broke, most likely you're not going to be able to find it. So put the glow plug back on. Put up the gas. See, I hit that manhole cover right there. I have a really low idle on this car. More YouTube videos.